Because again, remember that the whole basis for this story was because Obum went to sell something of 3,000 for 7,000. So he had to tell because Áfàméfùna was really thinking that Obum did something that nobody has ever done in business lifetime. Hello and welcome back to the Thebloomplatinum. My name is Annie or Adesi, and today I'm here to give you guys a review. This review is for Áfàméfùna, the movie that took over Twitter or X. I really want to focus on the cinematography, the continuity, and the storyline. Those are the core things that I'm going to be reviewing in this video. Can I just say that Kayode Kasum is a beautiful director, and there is no way that I would do justice to this review without giving him his flowers. And the fact that a Yoruba man could beautifully direct a movie that really clearly tells the Igbo story is beautiful. It shows you how much of a good director he truly is. In case you don't know any of Kayode Kasum's movie, Kayode Kasum has movies like Obaram. Obaram was a beautiful movie. I watched that movie and I was like, wow, it's really nice. This City Called Life, Ambili, The Whole 30 Yards, and much more to his name. He is a beautiful director, I tell you that for free. Let me just start from the top, right? Áfàméfùna had what we call a language consultant. A language consultant is someone who you ask questions about the language, about the narration of stories. For example, you see such scenes like the scene where Kanayo was speaking to young Áfàméfùna, speaking about the whole brotherhood and the whole story behind the apprenticeship system of the Igbo business. Such things, well, that's what the culture consultant / language consultant would have spoken to them about. And I feel like that movie is so rich because of the little things they did here and there to really be able to tell and give the movie as good representation as possible. I really enjoyed the way that they made the composition of certain scenes. So for example, you'll see scenes like ones where young Áfàméfùna would be watching young Polo talk to customers. The composition of those scenes, they were so nice. Scenes like the one where young Áfàméfùna would be watching Obum get in trouble. Scenes where he would not really be the one in focus, but they were still able to capture him in a way that it would tell that he was really involved, he was really interested in learning. Yes, those sort of scenes. And then the scenes at the end where Alex Okubo and Stan Nze, they were having all their back and forth, pay me my money, don't pay me my money, pay me this one, don't pay me that one. You see, those scenes, the composition of those scenes, I loved. The way that they could really be able to bring out. There is a scene where the camera zooms in on Stan Nze and Alex. They are talking, and then it zooms out and tells us that okay, they are in this place and they're having this conversation. The thing with this movie is that there is not a lot of scenes that would particularly make it interesting. That there's a lot of scenes where it's going from this scene to this one in Okokomaiko, and they are selling and they are hitting themselves fighting, and then there's this one happening in the club, somebody is breaking somebody's bottle. No, those sort of scenes are not in this movie. This movie really has just one major scene, which is that reminds me, am I the only one that noticed that they somehow managed to name Oga's shop Odogu and Sons? Oga did not have any son. Odogu did not have any son. Please, how did we arrive at Odogo and Sons? Odogo did not have any son. Or did Odogo have a son and they didn't tell us that story? Because I found it interesting that we saw Odogo and Sons on the signboard, but Odogo did not have a son. Odogo had only one daughter that was Amaka. Abby, or did he have a son that died? I just found it interesting that they named his shop Odogo. They named his business rather Odogo and Sons. When in the movie he was just Odogo, there was no son to his name. Whoever thought about that did not really think well. But that was my only reservation. When I noticed that, I was like, that is off. That is really off, because why would you name it Odogo and Son if he does not have any son? I'm thinking to myself, is everything fine? Or could it be that the sons are the boys that he trains? Anyways, that was just the thing that nagged my brain. But aside that, this movie had a great composition. It had beautiful continuity. The best parts, the place that grabbed my attention the most, there was where young Áfàméfùna transitioned to Stan and say, the way that the transition, there's just something that they did about it. Do you get? So the fact that they actually took off young Polo so early made the story actually be better. And I don't know how to explain this, but the fact that we did not get to see young Polo be the one to be in relationship with Amaka actually added more finesse to the story. So the fact that it was Alex that we saw establish relationship, be in relationship with this girl, not young Polo. Do you get? That fact alone made that transition to look better. Because how do you explain that somebody was doing press up, a younger Áfàméfùna was doing press up, and then as a finished person, he just changed to Stanuzi? Like, that transition was sweet, and I feel like they got away with that because of the early introduction of Alex Kubo. And honestly, I feel like we need to just match justice for Áfàméfùna, because why the Trevor Arinze waste his time? Why? Sir, he said he did not kill this man. You were there, you would just want him to narrate story. After I finished narrating the story, did not let him go. So why did you not just believe from the beginning? Somebody say I was in my house in the village when somebody was killed. You say he should narrate story. He narrates story. Oh, you have to ask him even about the transaction that sir, what really happened? What really happened? He's not the one you're looking for. Go and look for what you're looking for. This movie is 10/10. It ate and it left no crumbs. From the acting, the direction, to the scripting, the story was rich. The fact that you have Kanayo narrating a story, somehow he touches on slavery, he touches on the effect of slavery on the Igbo business, system, but he doesn't really dwell on slavery too much. He focuses that story on the fact that they were able to still come out of slavery with a standing system that still works till date. Please help me. What more do you want me to say? Then she still makes sure that in that, I don't think a lot of people understood why that story did not make us to lose interest. That story did not make you lose interest because somehow he kept going back and saying apricot is not bad. Apricot is not bad. Apricot is not bad. I realized that even though the scenes were changing, even though there were parts in that story that we got to see Áfàméfùna and young Polo, they were talking in the shop, they were doing business. Then at one point we still saw Odogu giving money to his friend. We saw other things, but they will come back to him and he will say a core sentence: apricot is not bad. And he was saying that apricot is not bad because he started the full story. The essence of that entire story he was telling was that apricot is not bad. Apricot is not a bad thing, just don't be greedy about it. Because again, remember that the whole basis for this story was because Obum went to sell something of 3,000 for 7,000. So he had to tell because Áfàméfùna was really thinking that Obum did something that nobody has ever done in business lifetime. So Ojogo had to make younger Áfàméfùna understand that what Obum did was not entirely wrong. It's just that he did it in a greedy and selfish way. You cannot be selling something that's 3,000 for 7,000. You know, he was just making him to understand. At various points in the story, he would say Áfàméfùna, apricot is not bad. Just don't be greedy. I love that he did it that way. And so you find that he will say the story, he will get to different points, and he will draw back their attention with apricot is not bad. Let me tell you, the lady that wrote this story, you wrote such a beautiful story. And I'm so happy. I am so happy that AMVCA give you a nomination, because you deserve that nomination. You deserve. In fact, if there's any word that encapsulates, that describes how much you deserve this nomination, you deserve it, girl. You wrote the hell out of that story. You wrote that story like your father, your grandfather, your uncles, and your aunties lived it. That's how you wrote it. You are a beautiful writer. The fact that you had to, like, please call me, let's talk. I want to know your thought process. I want to know how you managed to. And I know you are not the only. I know that you had co-writers, right? But I really want to know how all of you sat down and came up, and I just like the process of it. Please, I want to know. But yeah, you deserve it. You deserve every nomination you get, because you wrote a beautiful story. And so in rounding up, right, I just want to say that thank you to the entire production. Thank you to the executive producers that put their money into this movie. Shout out to Netflix for bringing it into their platform as an original movie. Shout out to everybody that was a part of the production. You guys did the Igbo culture one, man. Like, I'm proud. I am. See, proud is not even the word to use. I am. My soul. And the fact that this movie was 8%, 80 to 90% in Igbo. I don't think people realize that the reason why this movie makes so much sense is because it was delivered majority in Igbo. I strongly believe that if you guys watered down the Igbo language and decided that, okay, we're just going to have like just minor things in Igbo, the fact that Kanayo narrated that monologue in Igbo for the most part, of where he could speak Igbo, he spoke Igbo. See, it's just elevated it. And honestly, that movie is beautiful. I have not felt so much passion and emotion about a movie in a while. Yes, no, that's not even a lie. In a while, I have not. And so shout out to the whole team, shout out to the producers, exec producers, set design, everybody that was in this production. They did it like their house rent was due the next day, and they were like, I must get my money today, and so I'm gonna do this work the way I want them to pay me. And there's nothing else to say. I honestly just wanted to come and speak about it, because honestly, the movie is beautiful. It has beautiful cinematography. It has beautiful compositions that truly add to the essence of the entire story of the movie. The continuity is fine. The transitions were amazing. The fact that they even told it as a flashback, because when I saw Áfàméfùna, I was expecting something that, will just I was just expecting one kind of village movie that you just see Áfàméfùna selling pure water, and you'll just see Áfàméfùna and his friends playing football. That's what I was expecting. I never expected the angle that it came from, and so I appreciate it. I wish that more Nollywood movies could be like this, not in the Igbo speaking though, but yeah, could actually, or even in Igbo speaking, actually, more Igbo movies could actually tell the essence of Igbo stories. I love how this poked the business aspects of the Igbo system, traditions, whatever I want to call it. But I wish that we would have more stories that come from different angles, because I feel like over the years, the most intrinsic thing that Igbo Nollywood has given us is the Igbo slave trade story. Most people, when they are making, most people that can afford the luxury of it, that can afford the pitching of it, when they are pitching stories, they tend to pitch the Igbo slave trade story, how the Igbos were sold to slavery and but I wish that we could have other important, interesting things that people would actually be interested in as well. I'm not trying to water down the experience of anybody in the slave trade experience. I'm just saying that it would be nice if we have a better reach out. There's more to what happened to us during slavery. There's more to us than, I know that the slavery really formed a huge bit of what the Igbos are standing for now, but I just feel like there'll be more richness, there'll be more well-roundedness if we're able to establish other things that have to do with the Igbo tradition than just every time you see a movie, a high budget movie, it is slave trade. See, right now it's either you are getting slave trade or you are getting village. And to see this that they did with Áfàméfùna, for me, it's a thank you for watching. Till I come here next time. It's been Annie, really good, and God bless you.